He don't get no hoes, so he might not get it, but the whip look at me with the kicks, cause I'm sitting on low lows. Once I gotta walk in a room in a car, just fucking with your boy. It's a goddamn shame how I switched that lane. Nigga down, I came with a crown that taking.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the For the Winners podcast. Now, we would like to remind you, if you want to take advantage of any of our free courses, videos, or recommendations, look down in the description of this podcast. Now, if you want to take advantage of any of our paid services or products, such as getting a Shopify store built, or book recommendations, courses for social media, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, etc., please visit forthewinners.com, or maybe you want to network with other young entrepreneurs. Go and visit forthewinners.com. Now, we hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the For the Winners podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and today I have a special guest, man. This guy right here, he owns a hip-hop blog. It's called the HipHop Guru. It's about 5 years old, and everything is booming right now. You got about 40,000 followers on Instagram, got a YouTube page booming, website. His name is Alex, so I'm going to let him go ahead and introduce himself, because he can do a way better job than I can, so you can go ahead, bro.
What's up, Nate, man? Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Let him tell him a little bit about your background.
So I started the hip-hop website called the HipHop Guru in 2016. Started it off finding artists across the world, just mining SoundCloud for hours, posting them on YouTube and the website. And I created a platform that way. And I came with the approach of word-of-mouth marketing so that I promoted them for free. And I had the vision that if I promoted people for free, then I'd create a real following. And then I'd have a legitimate platform for people to support, as opposed to kind of being put on and then not really kind of supporting it after the fact that they've been posted.
So, like, what gave you the idea to start the blog in the first place, though?
Yeah. So I just really had a passion for music, and I liked hip hop a lot. So I used to send a lot of people links to songs and all that. And then it got to a point where I was sending a lot of people links, and it got a little bit annoying for people. So I figured I'd just start like a central hub where all my findings would be put.
Mm-hmm. So you were just the guy that always knew the new music that was out. People would just come to you like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Or you would just always be putting people on the new shit.
I just always had a passion for music, man. Love hip hop. And I think that's what really kept the page going, because I had a true passion for the sound.
So like, okay. So number one, it's out of true passion, which is great, because one thing that I always tell people is, like, when they try to start businesses or anything like that, I mean, your thing kind of grew like organically pretty much, but like, or in the way that you even went about it. But like, one thing that I always be telling people is, like, do something that you like genuinely like. Like, I always be telling people like do something. Matter of fact, well, I can say this first. Like, always tell people, like, do something that you genuinely like, and something that you can say, like, if literally nothing happened for the next 5 years, I'll be completely okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally no traction, no sales or whatever. Of course you want sales, you want traction, of course. You know what I mean? But just saying, like, if that was the case, like, I would still be pursuing this thing. You know what I mean? So, like,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of thing that I'll be telling people. And, you know, your story in itself is just a prime example of what I'll be talking about. So when you first started the blog, like, how long did it take before you actually started seeing, like, things start growing? Like, what was the whole process with that? Like,
yeah, for sure. So the first year I really didn't see that much. It's kind of funny because I post a lot of songs on YouTube, or I posted more back then, but now it's like, well, the thing with these independent artists is that you post a song and it might not get traction for like a year to 2 years sometimes, right? So with the website, the first 3 years were kind of more so the development, where I was kind of playing around. I had to do the brand development, the logo, learn how to do the website, because I didn't know how to do that stuff before. Kind of just jumping into it, I had to find out how to do it. I went on YouTube and all that. So I didn't see like 10K. I didn't hit 10K on Instagram until I think when the Raptors won the championship around that time. So, and then after that, it's like, once you get the dominoes going and they start being in place, then more people know about it, and then you kind of organically grow on a larger scale. So I didn't see that much growth as where it is right now until maybe 3.5, 4 years in.
And how often were you posting too, though?
So at the beginning, I posted a lot. Like some people get a little bit mad because they say it'd be too much. So it was probably like at the beginning, maybe 10 to 15 times a day on social media. And for music, it was probably like 2 to 3 artists a day.
No, that right there is a big thing. So number one, you didn't see any results for a very, very long time. So like 3 years is a long time for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? 3 years may not be a lot to me, or may not be a lot to you, but like to a person that just started something or whatever, or even to people who have already started ventures and shit like that, they think 3 years is like a crazy long time, but it's not a crazy long time when you're doing something that you just genuinely like. You know what I'm saying? So like that's that's number one. And you didn't see results for a very long time. Now when it goes into the posting, like I tell people, like a lot of people aren't posting enough to even see growth at any, you know what I mean? Like people are like posting like one time a day or like once every couple of days because they want that like, I don't know, like that big, I don't know. The best way I can explain it is like people just try to act famous too quick. You know what I mean? They try to get that look a little too fast, but like
nothing is overnight, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like the beginning stages, bro, like it's really all about volume. Like it's about putting out more and more and more shit. Like you just have to keep putting out more. Like I was just talking to a friend like maybe like 3 hours ago, and she's trying to be a fashion stylist. And she was like, yo, like I'm about to like post. I mean, I'm about to like do like 3 capsules a year, like type shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like literally kind of like 3 photo shoots a year. And I'm telling her like, no, like you can't do that yet. Like you can't be that yet. Like the beginning stages is all about putting out more. Like
it's all about quality and quantity, right? You have to find that perfect mix. And if you really don't love what you're doing, then eventually you're going to burn out, right? Because there's a lot of work that goes into it. So if you don't love what you're doing, if you love what you're doing, honestly, you'll do it every single day, right? Literally. And then eventually you're going to get enough traction to the point where it's going to start to pay off. And there's a lot of groundwork that you have to put in before you'll ever see that point. And a lot of people forget that, it's like, I think Jay-Z said once in a Rap Radar interview, a lot of people see the, what was it? It was like a lot of people see the end result, but they don't want to put the work, in to get to that point. I messed it up a little bit what he said, but it's people don't see the amount of work that goes into it and the amount of honestly hustle and persistence that you got to stick with, because a lot of people will quit,
That's very true, bro. That's very true. So like, beginning stages, man, it's all about, and even after the beginning stages, just now in general, man, like content wise, it's all about finding that mixture of quality and quantity. Like that's really the game, man. That's really the fucking game. But like, now, okay, with you posting that much, how were you structuring content? Like, how are you scheduling it? You know what I'm saying? Number one, let's just start there. Like, how are you scheduling out your content? Now, how do you schedule out your content right now? Like, how do you go about that?
Yeah, so now, like at the beginning, I was able to kind of do stuff to see what would work and what wouldn't work. And at that time, I didn't really have a set schedule of what I was doing. I was just kind of finding whatever I found interesting. And then from there, I'd post it. So now I'm trying to keep a positive note in hip hop as well, because there's a lot of websites that kind of do stuff for analytics to kind of get more so like something that'll pull in comments and all that. But for me, I try to keep a positive mindset with the whole page where you can learn something, you can have a video where you watch and you leave it understanding something. And I think it's one of the only pages that's stuck to that niche. And I think that's why it's also a unique page.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So okay. You pretty much just, whatever you was feeling at that moment, you would just post. Now, is it that same way now?
Yeah, pretty much. But now it's a little bit more strategic. Like sometimes I won't post the same stuff I used to, because before I'd throw up like many artists in the same day. But there's not enough time in each day for me to do that anymore, so that I can try to keep everything balanced. Because at the beginning I'd throw stuff up on the website, on all the socials, but it takes a lot of time to kind of change the content so that it looks appealing on one platform and another platform. And now there's obviously many more platforms to post on and different apps. So there's also more time that has to be put in towards it. But at this point, if I have a song or video that I want to post, I'll sometimes have it planned in advance and then post it in strategic format so that I can do more things in one day.
What do you mean by strategic format?
So that I can watch a video one day and then maybe plan content beforehand, so that if I have something I want to post, the next day it could be ready to go, and then I can continue working on the next steps to continue the brand going.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. So now let's dig into platforms though. Which platforms are you seeing the most traction on, like right now?
Yeah, so Instagram. I love Instagram. I love TikTok is crazy, man. I don't even know the engine that they use, but you could literally go crazy on one post and you can see like 2,000 followers.
That's fact though. People sleep on TikTok though. People
sure.
they think when you post on TikTok that you only supposed to be doing dances and shit like that. Like no, like you can literally be posting. I see people who do people's taxes, like they posting content on TikTok. Like the entire platform itself is just aging. Like I know in the beginning, like when people first heard about TikTok, it was a lot of fucking kids on there, like middle school when it first started. Because I heard about TikTok a while ago, like a long time ago, and it was just like it was literally really just like kids on there, like posting silly shit or like.
It's a lot of dances on there still, but like even for artists, man, like you could, if somebody knows how to properly market a song and then you do something that gets viral success, you could find a song charting on different hot whatever charts just based on one person that posted a video. Now you see like 300 posting the same challenge, and from there you could have a viral career. It's interesting.
Another thing about TikTok too, though, when it comes to music artists, another thing about TikTok too, when it comes to music artists is number one, and the way that they have it set up is so that that you can literally find music on TikTok. So I don't know if you ever try to find some music on TikTok and then it'll recommend you songs to even find. Then as far as like when you search for a song in like their full like search bracket, well, people who are on TikTok know what I'm talking about. But like when you search in the full bracket, it's literally like hundreds and hundreds of like sounds that you can literally go through. And if I was an artist,
video too,
literally though, and if I was an artist though, I would be putting my music on TikTok and then not even naming it the actual song. I would be naming it like inspirational song or like inspirational instrumental or like, you know what I'm saying? Shit that people search for in there to find music for their videos. That's what I would be using. Like similar to like fucking Soulja Boy. Like how he got on, he was literally not even naming his songs what it was. He was naming it after what people were searching for, like pretty much hacking the search bar. So like that's the type of shit that I would be doing on TikTok, because once a sound keeps going, like the shit keeps going. And even as an artist, like you don't even gotta use like you don't even gotta use a fucking song. Like you can use like audio, like just audio clips in general. Like I don't know if you listen to Trippie Redd's album, but at the end of Trippie Redd's album, it was just audio clips of him like doing sounds like that people
like
can
skits
like,
and stuff.
Yeah, it was just like B-roll sounds or whatever, right? So I would be doing that too. Like I would make a song I would make a sound, take something off of YouTube and literally just name it applause, and it would literally just be the sound applause, and then put it up on TikTok. And all those different sounds of shit that people need for their videos, that's the shit that it'll literally just trace back to me, because once you click it, you'll know where the sound originated from. And then also another TikTok too though is that it'll tell you where something originated from. So like if you look at what's trending, it will literally tell you the originator of that trending topic or trending clip or trending sound. Like it's so different ways that you can really hack like TikTok. And even not even go on a rant, but I like to tell artists this all the fucking time. Like even going into like the fucking youth, like the Call of Duty players that be on TikTok and stuff like that. they clips go viral. Those are probably the main clips that consistently go viral all the time, like those Call of Duty clips. I will be trying to get my music put behind the Call of Duty clips. Like
that's a smart marketing approach, man. Like that's something people forget too. Like, right? Even like with the sports pages, some of the sports pages you have to pay to do it, but if they have a lot of videos that go trending all the time, right? If you were to pay them to put your song behind one of those videos, even the sports stuff, like
the thing about it though is not to cut you off. The thing about it is you don't even need to fucking pay them because a big issue that's going on right now is copyrights.
Yeah,
you can't find copyright-free music. You know, like
too, that's a problem.
Like any YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. Like you can't find. You post a picture, you post a video with Drake's song behind it, they're gonna take this shit down. So like, and people don't want to use fucking what is it called? The like
copyrighted content, or
what's the fucking like you know, like the default like sounds that the platform kind of corny as fuck. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Like a jingle or something like that.
You can say that. You can say that.
No copyright.
Like stock images, like stock music. Like people don't want to use stock photos, stock music because the shit sounds corny. So they force shit that's gonna potentially get their fucking account suspended. So like you actually solving a huge problem if you come in and you're offering them music that actually sounds good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know,
it depends the artist too, right? Because some of the labels that have these artists signed, it's an automatic system that registers the song, and once it hears it, it'll just kick it off. But there's a lot of artists too that say, listen, I want my music to be played on these artists or people's channels, so that when they're doing the game or whatever like that, or a DJ set, they don't get a copyright strike, because some of the artists also want their music played on those things, right? It's not like they're deliberately going out and removing it. It's the system that automatically catches it.
That's fact. And I feel like that's honestly dumb as fuck. I feel like the music itself is really not what you make the money on. It's everything that comes off of the music is what you really make your money.
Like unless you're doing like 100 million streams, man, like it's tough to make it. That's why with the pandemic and no touring and all that, there's been like a shift in approaches to how the industry is kind of moving, because there has to be new ways to move around. And if you're not selling merch, or if you're not doing like creative, like I don't know, online tours or something like that where you can perform live online, then there's a new spot where people are kind of stuck in.
Man, bro, like the music itself, honestly, the music is the marketing behind what you really want to sell. Like me, I used to use music to market myself, market my businesses. Like I use if I got a smidget of a talent in any fucking thing, I'm going to use that shit to sell something. I used to make full ass music videos of me doing shit to sell what I actually wanted to sell. Like
I've seen those.
Like literally bet. So like literally, bro, like that in itself, like, bro, just using. I would want my music everywhere. Copy my music and spread it out as far as you possibly can. Don't put no copyrights on my shit. Use it wherever you possibly can use this shit, because that's just gonna build up. I don't know, man. Like I just think different when it comes to that type of stuff. If I was an artist, I would start an online store or some shit. Like I don't know. Not even people just, when they think of online store, they think of like merch. I mean, that's so fucking basic. Like I would think of like some, I don't know. I would sell
different ways to
products. I don't fucking know. I would sell bathroom products, fucking ring lights. I don't know, whatever. And then I would just be using on some masterpiece shit, just using my music to really push do the market. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's the type of shit I would be doing, bro. So like TikTok, bro. People be sleeping on that platform so much, like it's fucking.
That's
crazy.
The other thing too, man. Like honestly, all these apps, they're all right now with social media. You can do it. Like if somebody were to not use one social media platform, that's such a setback, because there's a lot of opportunity, and even though you might not find it to be a good app, the amount that you can grow on from being on it is crazy. Like if you're not using all social media apps, then you need to hire a team or something like that, because somebody has to do it, you know?
Literally, because the shit is fucking free. It's fucking free. Social media, and that's not, people always say like pick one platform and then only go on that. I don't believe that shit. Like,
no, not at all. You got to utilize all.
You need to disperse your energy across all platforms. Why? Because the shit is fucking free. Like, it's literally free, and you could talk to the entire planet, like, for free. For fucking free. And all you gotta do is take out your fucking phone and just sit on there and just record videos. Like, somebody paid me like $600 yesterday just because I posted some shit on social media that they like. Literally. That, like, and it's fucking free. That's another thing too. The shit is fucking free. Like,
for real, man. Like, honestly, without social media, I would have, or like without a computer, without a phone, and having access to these apps, I would have never created my website at all. You know, so
my fucking point. Now, another platform that a lot of people sleep on as well, and this one, you may not even be on there, but I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not even gonna say that you're not on there. LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
A lot of people are not on LinkedIn.
I don't use LinkedIn for the website. For the website. For personal, obviously that's a different thing, but
no,
I haven't used it. That's something I should probably get on.
LinkedIn. The reason a lot of people think that LinkedIn is only for jobs. That is not true. LinkedIn is a social media platform. And the issue with LinkedIn right now is they don't have enough content for the platform. So the organic reach on LinkedIn is crazy because they don't have enough. So they're just giving out free boosts, like literally.
I'm gonna look into that.
Honestly, like the top three platforms where you would get the most growth in, like, fast, is TikTok, Clubhouse, and LinkedIn. Those are the top three. And the thing about LinkedIn, what's so dope about LinkedIn is that everybody on there are high performers. So it's like, even if they're not a high performer, they pose themselves as a high performer on LinkedIn. So high performers spend high performer money and do high performer things. So, like, it's so easy to make money on LinkedIn because the mindset that people are when they go on the platform itself is just so different than every other platform. Like, even the closest thing to a LinkedIn mindset will probably be Clubhouse, but that would probably be the closest thing, because people don't go on LinkedIn to play games. Like, they go on there to like really do business and like really like interact with people and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like LinkedIn, bro, like, it's a platform that a lot of people need to be on, because it's like I said, like, it's not they don't have enough content for the platform. Not enough people are posting on there. So anything that you really post, like, people are going to see. So, like, and if you got good content, it's going to be easy for you to just get, pick up traction. And also with LinkedIn too, is like the posts on LinkedIn last a very long time, like months. Like, you could post something. You could have posted something. It's shit that I'm seeing from February. No. I'm dragging. It's posted I've seen from November of 2020 that I'm still seeing right now.
They just get put back into the.
They don't, like, because the way that their timeline is structured, it's not really like the newest thing is at the top, or it's
kind of like whatever has the most interactions kind of goes back up.
Not even no most interactions. It'll be a post that literally doesn't even have a lot of interaction on it that'll still be there. So, like, it kind of like just keeps recycling it, like, over and over again. It's like, and a lot of people don't really know that. And like, like, LinkedIn is a place that everybody needs to be. And I be telling people, I just told a dude today, because he has like a radio station, and he was like, he was like, one of my future goals is to partner with like MoMA and like all these other different like companies, like the MoMA Museum or whatever. And I was like, that can literally happen tomorrow if you just get on LinkedIn. Because what you can literally do on there, you can go on there and look at a company and see every single person that works for that company, like, one by one, every single person that works for them. You just go in and just start meeting people. That's what I do. Like, if I want to meet somebody, if I want to get a placement at fucking Gucci for a graphic design, I'm gonna go on Gucci. I'm gonna go and look who is the marketing director, who is the whatever, and I'm gonna just go in there, connect, say something interesting to them. They're gonna connect with me, just keep fucking with them, and then eventually I'm gonna just get like, I do that shit a lot. Like,
that's the biggest thing, man. Networking is the biggest key, because it's all about like who you know and who knows you, because if, say, for example, obviously I know you, somebody asked me about an agency that wants to do cool graphic design, I'm going to go to you because there's a genuine relationship, right? So a lot of people, that's another thing I like about Clubhouse too, because with that void of not being able to kind of network and go to different events and all that, I'm able to go on Clubhouse and talk to somebody I would have never met, you know? So having that social media gap where you're able to go on there, even LinkedIn, it's kind of like LinkedIn is like Clubhouse without the audio and all that, where you can't speak to people. But there's the first connection, second connection, and all that. So seeing that you're connected with, if I were to connect with you, and then I wanted to reach out to somebody, they would see that I'm connected with you, and then there's like a better chance that they would then speak to me after.
Yeah, and you get followers fast as fuck on Clubhouse. You can say one sentence on that bitch, and then people is gonna start following you on there, yo. Like, I fuck with Clubhouse, but I don't think Clubhouse is gonna be around for a very long time.
Why not?
Because it's a feature. Like, Clubhouse is really a feature, like stories, yo. Like, I feel like something. I'm about 70% sure Clubhouse is not gonna be around long term. Because it's like, you already see Twitter. Twitter got Twitter Spaces right now that they house in one of the beta groups, and like that shit is hella solid. Like,
it's cool too. I tried it as well.
Yeah, like and I feel like the one thing the three things that are really killed Clubhouse is, number one, the fact that it's a feature like stories. So like, I mean, any platform can really pick up on that. The next thing that'll kill Clubhouse is that they make it public. So like the thing that really attracts people to Clubhouse is the fact that it's private. Like, it's a private platform, and it has an exclusivity to it. So like that's a big thing that attracts people to Clubhouse. Also, what else would I say? I was just having this conversation with somebody else, just talking about Clubhouse, as far as what they can really do. But
there's a lot of features in it, man. But it's like, it's still, the crazy thing is it's still in that beta phase, right? So if they're able to kind of use it and kind of go to that next level without doing anything wrong, is like with the platform where it becomes kind of the lower platform, then because they went up to like 2 million followers users pretty fast. It went from like 50,000, and then a lot of the music people went on it, and then it kind of started just shooting up.
I don't even think it's from the actual platform, though, that the reason why it grew so quick. I think the reason why it grew so fast is because, number one, the platform is private, so you needed an invite to even get in. So like that just made people want to be in it more. Also, I know they probably paid people to go on there and have conversations on Clubhouse, and then when you try to see what the fuck they were talking about, you couldn't get in there. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? So it was literally like that. It wasn't the platform itself like that just made people like want to be on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? It was the fact that it was an exclusive platform, and people that others wanted to listen to that were on there talking. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I feel like what really made Clubhouse like grow versus other platforms like Vine, for example, or like Twitter, for example. Like, it was actually like key things within the platform that actually attracted people to it. Like Vine, it was what was it, like 7 seconds or some shit like that?
I think 7 seconds.
Like literally, like it was a 7-second clip. Then you had Twitter, where you can literally just say whatever the fuck you want. Like, you just go in there just saying any fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So
that's another thing too, because you look at those, like Twitter at the beginning, it was less characters. You couldn't tweet as much, right? Now they allow you to do a little bit more. But Vine too, like with that short attention span, even if you look at like Reels right now, it goes max 30 seconds, right? Now there's a lot of content that it has to be a lot shorter, because people's attention spans aren't going to be watching like a 12-minute clip, right? That shorter clip also allows for people to go through them a lot faster. And if you're able to kind of create some kind of comedy sketch that's funny in 7 seconds, there's a lot of opportunity to kind of go into more, or even music. If you're doing something with music where it's funny, 7 seconds, you do that fast, go to the next one, then there's a lot of opportunity to grow, you know? So
that's facts, though. That's definitely facts. And I feel like stuff is going back to the way Vine was. Like,
it was ahead of its time, I think.
Yeah,
sure.
Like It really was. Like, I feel like number one, everything is going to be, as far as video clips, everything is going to be short form, 30 seconds long max. That's where it's going to be at pocket. And then anything long form is going to be audio. Like, that's where it's going to be audio, because people can just listen to the shit passively and not have to sit and watch anything. Because I'll listen to a whole podcast and literally be doing 30 different things in my house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you actually want to pay attention to some shit, it just needs to be like snappy. So like, I feel like everything is really going back to that, that 30 second interval, and then everything else is just going to be fucking audio. But
even like if you look at the music industry, the songs are getting shorter and shorter.
That's very true.
Like, you look at the song, it's like if you have a 2-minute kind of song and versus like a 5-minute song, if nobody knows the artist and there's 2 minutes, they're gonna go towards that 2-minute one faster. Like, even if you look at a lot of skits, like if you look at different albums that had skits in between it, those skits are not necessarily gonna be there that much anymore, because people are changing, music industry is changing. But obviously an album with good skits and all that is always good. Everybody loves that, but it has to be done right.
That's definitely facts. So going back onto your platform, if an artist wants to reach out to you, how does this process go? Like, how can an artist actually get their music featured on your platform? What's your process?
So for 4 years, I actually only reached out to artists myself. I didn't really do any submissions through the website. But now I did submissions, and I have a submission email. I go through them all the time. I actually just did a thing recently where I opened it up to the public so everybody can send something in. And the other thing too is that email structure, the way artists send songs in, not everybody knows how to do that, right? So I think that if an artist were to structure an email properly, with the beginning part being who they are, then a bit about what the song is, and then not sending a full album, because there's a lot of submissions, So if there's like 2 to 3 songs and it's properly put in the email, then it's a lot easier for people taking the submissions to kind of go through.
How do you properly email?
Sorry?
How do you properly email? Like what catches your attention? Like how would you want an artist to properly email you something?
So at the beginning part, it's usually just who they are, where they're from, quick bit about themselves, not too much, something about the song, and then I don't know, maybe something after that about what they're doing next or something like that, and then like 2 to 3 links with the direct ESP, like a Spotify, Apple Music title, something like that. And then not a full album, because if I were to get a full album submission, I might go to like the 7th song in the thing, and that's not what they want me to listen to, right?
That far, shit.
Yeah.
So
and then maybe like a photo.
How many sentences max?
It really depends, but I'd say like 3 to 4 paragraphs, maybe. Not too long though.
You would go 3 or 4 paragraphs?
But not long. Like, first part about themselves, about the song, and then something else. So like just different lines, not a long one, because the attention span usually isn't that long,
Shit, man. Like when people send me anything, like ask me, like, yo, 3 to 4 sentences, like max. Like when people like just cold, like jumping in, like 3 to 4 sentences, yo. Like that's me, like.
Because it's like an elevator pitch, right? You have to be able to.
Like you gotta be quick and quick and you gotta just make sure every sentence matters. Like every sentence, it matters, and it's very punchy. Like if people can get into the habit of that shit, yo, like they will go very far. Like with my agency, like 85% of my clients come from cold email marketing, and that's just us putting together structure, nothing longer than like 4 sentences long, jumping in there. Yo, hey, my name is Nate. I do graphic. I own a graphic design agency. I was wondering if you need any graphic design. Boom. I've done work for Def Jam, Future, blah blah blah. Boom. Next line. I do this. Boom. Are you free to talk XYZ, boom, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like every line just matters, and it's very, and you can just read it, look at it. You can literally just go on your phone and swipe it, and then swipe back off and know everything that I just fucking said. And
exactly,
it
man.
matters. Like if people can do that, like they will get super far with people, because people just don't be having fucking time to be sitting and fucking read. I'm surprised that you even, that shows that you really like what you do. Like you love that shit. Because if you could sit and read through some paragraphs, yo, like, but me, hell no. 3 to 4 sentences max, yo. Make sure every line matters, and make sure you end whatever that you say with a question. Because if you don't end with a question, then I'm not gonna respond. And that's even with other people too. Like if you cold reaching out to somebody, end it with a question at all times. So then it would prompt them to respond. Like that's a big thing that people don't be doing. Like they'll just say some shit and then just don't even ask you anything afterwards. And I just look like you just told me something. You're not even wanting me to do anything. You know what I'm saying? So like
Another thing too is like not to cut you off there, but it's like start the email off directing whoever the person is you're directing it to, not like an email with like 600 different people CC'd on it, you know, like those get deleted pretty fast. So if you start off the email directly towards the person you're talking to, those usually get looks as well. Because I think a lot of people forget about that. It's such a small thing, but it goes a long way.
It does though. It does. And it shows that you just have more like, is the word intention, or what is that the right word? Or like, or you just thought it out a lot more. It looked like you cared more about what you were saying. Even if you fucking didn't, it just looked like you did. If you can just break that shit up, they can send one to you, then send one to another person on your team, then send another one to another. Like, you know what I mean? It just looks like more direct, more like you care about.
More professional too, you know? Exactly.
More professional. Like that shit is definitely major. But I was just curious on what's the whole, you know, structure that you like. And you know, everybody has their own different things, but that was just interesting. No, so like
another thing too for the emails is like for me to get like a WeTransfer link from an artist or like a raw file of the song, it's not as good as directly going to the DSP, like a Spotify, Apple, or Tidal or something like that, because then I can go there and I can see, like, even in Spotify they'll have info about the artist and all that, right? So for me to get a Spotify playlist or song link, it's a lot easier to listen to the song as opposed to me having to download the raw file and then it goes to my computer and then sometimes I won't listen to that. So, and then also for the emails, a photo of the artist. So if I were to use the song on the website, I have a photo that I can post, and that I need photo credits as well, because I always put everything is credited, everything I do.
That's major. That's honestly very super major. And I don't know why people don't like crediting other people on their shit. Because it does nothing. It literally does nothing but make your brand bigger when you do that. Like I do it all the time. Like I like doing that type of shit because it's literally just you showing love to somebody else. And the thing about the content that you make, like it doesn't even matter if you made it or if somebody else made it. People just want to see something that engages them. Like that's what a lot of people don't understand is like, and and one big reason why they don't like crediting people is because they don't want another person to get credit for something that they posted, even if they didn't fucking make it in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so fucking stupid because it just shows like people don't understand like why people are really on social media. Like, you know what I'm saying? They care. They care about what you have to say. They don't care if it even came from you or if it didn't. They just care about your opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? And just making sure that it's fucking interesting. So like, I feel like that's a major thing that people can pick up on, yo. Is like when you create content, like it does not always have to be from you. Like you can
especially in news, man. Like there's not a lot of stuff there is obviously stuff, but there's a lot of the stuff that's reported is reported from somewhere else, but there's a different touch on the platform. There's the respective platform, whatever it is, right? So, and if somebody weren't to get a photo credit or something, especially with photos, a lot of stuff is copyrighted, so you could get in trouble. But it costs nothing to give people credit, you know? And if somebody were to use your work and not credit you, you'd be pretty mad yourself too, right? So to get rid of that, always credit first. And that's something that you could even gain like support to that person by crediting them, right? Because then they can see what you've done. and then start even following your stuff and then supporting it, right?
Literally. So, okay. Now last thing I want to touch on is, I see you're moving into video interviews. So like, what's been the whole process on that? How has that been going? What's some issues that you've been running in with doing video interviews and stuff like that? What's been up with that?
Yeah, so at the beginning we did like written interviews on the website, but I like the original content with the video stuff because it's a different lane that we can get new supporters from. So a lot of I did a video interview recently where we recorded outside and we actually had to redo it because there was a little jingle in the back. And my team, like we got Pema and Justin and Maz, they do amazing jobs, and we're now bringing it to the point where it's going to be more original content, so that we're doing the new stuff, the music stuff, but we can jump back into that, putting artists on and all that stuff. And I think that with the video interviews, we're going to be able to kind of bring the brand to another level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's, and shit, how he just said he had to redo an interview, y'all, like, this interview right here is even fucking redid, because literally all of 2019, I was like scheduling a lot, not scheduling, but recording a lot of material, like a lot, like me, y'all, right now, I can release every week about 2 to 3 times a week, and then still have enough to keep going into next year. Like, that's how much shit that we literally have. And like, we were just trying to get everything like structured out. And I'm going through the interviews, like mapping out the entire calendar and shit. And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, like, where the fuck is Alex interview at? So I'm like looking, I'm like talking to people in Slack, like, hey, yo, like, did I miss something? Like, tell me, like, where the fuck is this interview at? Nobody can find it. And then I'm like, yo, man, I gotta reach back out to this dude and ask him, like, can you come back on this podcast? So like, even how you was just saying, yo, like, he had to redo a fucking interview. This interview right here, that shit just happens, yo. So like, you know, and also if y'all start trying to record some video content, when y'all start recording it, this may sound dumb as hell and probably like I think I already know this, but I promise you, one day this may happen to you. When you come on, make sure the camera is recording. Make sure the camera is fucking recording. Like, if you just gotta come on and just click record 20 minutes before the whole thing start, do it. Because
that's the worst thing, you find out that you're recording and then you go look at the camera, it's not on.
Exactly. And you just said some shit that you just fire as fuck, and then you go back to check it and there's nothing there. So like, y'all, like, look, if you're trying to put out some video content or like interviews or anything like that, like, number one, you see this shit, it just happens, like, you may have to redo something. And like I said, yo, just make sure the fucking camera is recording, man. Like, that's the most embarrassing thing. Even if you got somebody, imagine you got somebody big on your show, and then at the end, you like, you don't even want to tell them that the camera wasn't recording. And the shit, like, I'm just speaking from experience, y'all, but you know.
It happens, man. That's the thing too, right? Like, you have to be prepared to have backups and then save everything. Even sometimes, like, even with that original interview I did, the whole thing was there. It was outside. It was like 45 minutes. It was a good interview, but that one little bell from behind us ruined the whole thing to the point where we had no choice but to scrap it and redo it. But the thing is that when we redid it, it actually came out better. So there's always room for growth and seeing what you've done wrong, seeing what you did right, and then using that towards bettering the craft going forward.
Mm-hmm. That's fast, bro. And just to lead off right now, what artists are you listening to right now that's really catching your attention? Indie and mainstream.
Just interviewed Cavalli, so he's fire. He released a really good project, a couple of really good singles. He's about to do big things. Actually, today I heard this artist called Caleb Mitchell. He had a crazy project. So that was really good. Like, I just listened to him today. Who else? Out of Ohio, Majilla. She's really good.
Mm-hmm.
He has a crazy vibe to her, and the music is different. Who else? Some independent people that I can put on. I don't know who else. Who else would I even want to say? Let me see. I'd have to check the recently played stuff. What about you? Who do you think is gonna blow up next?
Who am I listening to that's indie right now? Who am I listening to that's really indie? Shit. Well, I won't even say he's indie though. I won't even say he's indie. It's an artist named Banky that I really like. His name is Banky, Bad Boy Banky. He be all on like elevator and shit like that. He is fire. He is fire as fuck. That's one artist that I'm looking at that's indie that I really fuck with. Also, I think I already told you about him in the last interview that didn't make it. But his name is Curly Chuck, and he just be going crazy. But mainstream artists I'm listening to right now is Trippie Redd. Like I listen to hella Trippie Redd, yo. Trippie
All
Redd.
the Ohio guys, huh?
Hell yeah. I didn't realize how much Ohio music I listened to until I moved out of Ohio. Like I didn't even realize that shit, but I listen to a lot of Ohio artists. Also, fucking Youngboy. I'm heavy on Youngboy. He,
his following is crazy, man. That's like a real following that he has, like a loyal fan base.
It really is though. And people don't even be understanding how big he really is. Like he is really huge if you look at his numbers, and he consistent every single time with his numbers. So like, yeah, bro. But him and those, honestly, bro, those the main two people that I'm listening to right now. But I was just pretty curious as far as like who you was looking at indie wise, and I'm gonna definitely get myself well versed in those artists that you named. And yeah, bro. So that's pretty much it. So I definitely appreciate you coming back on the fucking show again, man.
No doubt, man. Always a pleasure.
So, and let them know where to find you before we end this thing, man.
Yeah, on my social medias, personal one is Stainless Real, and all the hip hop website, it's thhguru, and Twitter, it's thhguru TV. I actually had to change that one because the original one got deleted because I didn't know about music copyright at the beginning. So I had to learn how to regrow the Twitter. That was a little bit tough, but just stepping stones to kind of learn the business a little bit, kind of rebrand it and understand how to come back from failure, kind of, so thhguru TV. YouTube is the Hip Hop Guru. And we're going to start doing some more video interviews with the artists and continue going from there. It's all organic. Never paid $1 for marketing. So
there you go, people. You know where to find them. We're going to make sure that we link everything down in the description of this video, and also on the audio too. And then that's about it. So I hope y'all learned a lot, man. Y'all got well versed in everything that we was talking about, and that's about it. So until next time, people, thank you for listening to the podcast. Also, if you need any graphic design, be sure to hit me up, man. Be sure to hit me up. And that is about it. Peace.
I'm going to hit you up for some graphic design. I need that.
Yeah, bro, we got that heat, man.
Get a room in a car, just fucking with your boy. It's a goddamn shame how I switched that lane. Nigga down, I came with a crown that taking.